I can't whistle. Just forget about it. Hey, darling. Can you hear me? Do you hear other sounds? Because the car's running. I don't want it to be loud. Can you hear anything else, or is it just me? Okay, cool. Does this say there's already 30 people here? That's ridiculous. So Rena has the band hammer. So be good. Uh-oh, 33. Somebody quick join. Thank you. I have 2 life straws. I'm trying to make it look like special effects with the blue lights and the smoke. Hold on. Now? Yeah, we can't have anybody who's intoxicated. It'll just confuse the rest of us. I don't know if we just wait until we get a certain number of people or if we just start talking about shit. Compare a... Sorry, I'm half blind. Everything's... I just woke up, so everything's all blurry. What did that say about compare something to a life straw? A filter to a life straw. I don't know what that filter thing is. Alright. Stone, Steel, Bones, and Blaze in the house. Nice to see you, sir. Yeah, I think if I played music, it would ruin everything. So somebody made a comment earlier tonight that World War III is starting. Did I miss something? Because I did. I fell asleep. I took a nap. Did I miss the beginning of World War III? I've never heard of that device. So who are we fighting? I missed this World War III thing. Are we fighting, like... Is it... Like, who are the teams? Rena, are you catching anything? I'm really bad at this. They want us to believe Syria is to blame. Well, of course, somebody has to be to blame. What does Syria have that we want? Do they have oil? I don't know much about it. Dude, I vape. I know nothing about it. Like, don't ask me about terms, or I just have a thing. I suck on it and smoke comes out. Or vape. I'm sorry, vapor comes out. Okay, because like Afghanistan's got the poppies for the opium, and Iraq has the oil. Syria have something we want. More oil, figures. Oh, my flavors, I mix them. There's like 3 or 4 in here. I buy like 3 or 4 different bottles, and I just mix them. I don't know there's a whole bunch of shit in here. Never tastes the same. Should I give up my revolver and leave gun? Oh shit, these things. Should I give up my revolver and lever gun for more modern equipment? I don't know. Do you like your revolver and your lever gun? Do they work? If it works and you like it, keep it. Rena, are you being good? I am. Can you see me tag you? I can put you in a timeout. I can put you in a timeout, Rena. Well, I'm trying to get the hang of this, so it's going to be so much better when I have the tablet and there's 2 of us. I think the only people you can ask about keeping or selling or upgrading your guns is yourself. There's no reason to listen to what anybody else thinks. What do you think? It's your gun. Get a bigger mag. Would you rather be a mountain lion or a bear? I haven't thought about that. I guess there's pros and cons to each. I'd rather be a Sasquatch. I want to be top of the food chain. So Rena, are you catching any questions or topics that are flying by me? Oh, don't get me started on the revving the car thing. I saw somebody yesterday, I wanted to throttle them. Literally, if the shit had hit the fan at that moment, I would have killed them right then. Who was that? Six Gun. Rena, what's Six Gun's questions? I'm not... There's just... This is overwhelming for me, seeing this stuff scroll by. Well, I did look at the main page of the Drudge Report, and it didn't say World War III has started, so officially I guess it hasn't started if it's not on Drudge, right? Where am I from? I'm from, like, I've lived all over the United States. I've been in other countries, but I wouldn't say I live there. But most recently, I'm from what I call home is New Mexico. Do I have a removable charger? The charger plugs into a wall and I stick the batteries on that. Is that removable? So what's the general consensus? Are we going to war? Is that what everybody thinks, or do you think it's all just more scare tactics? Well, I know you think we're going to war, Tony. I think you're convinced, but what about everybody else? Not going to war? When's the last time we were not in a war? So do you think the chemical attack in Syria was a false flag? Do you think that's all bullshit? Yeah, I think the last time we were in a war, or not in a war, was just prior to World War II. So you think that the chemical attack was a false flag and they're going to use that to go after Syria officially? And then Syria is going to have allies, and so it's going to be World War III. I'm a noob? Is that what that said? I don't know if I'm a noob. I had a channel that I changed to the contingency plan. It was something else before, about something completely different. Stone, Steel, Bones, and Blaze, you are probably absolutely 100% correct. Can you hear the vape? I don't want to be annoying. So I am officially a noob? Oh, hey, Dallas J. So who wants to know who my guest host is when we start doing this as a hangout? Don't worry about the autocorrect. We all live with that. We get it. It's both great and evil. You are correct, Six Gun. Look how nervous she is. She thinks she's gonna ruin it, like that's possible. I am in my car, yes. Because it's dark and it's quiet. I thought you'd rather look at my stereo than like a wall. I am ridiculously single, dude. Dallas J, I have gun oil in my room and I cannot for the life of me remember what brand it is. I don't know. Honestly, I think if it's called gun oil, it's gonna work. Wow, I'm way back on the chat. No, it does not flash with the music. I bought these blue LEDs. There's another one over here. I bought them at a truck stop in, where was that? Moriarty, New Mexico. They're not fancy. They're just blue. Katie Toole, I believe that is going to be the cause if and when it happens as well. I love blue LEDs. There's something about blue LEDs are my favorite. I wanted a blue LED CB radio, but they go from like $60 to $240 when they turn blue, so didn't get the blue one. Six Gun, are you asking me about the military? I was not in the Army. I was in a different branch. I can tell you that I was in for 5 years. I should have stayed in the whole time, but I don't know. For some reason at the 5-year point, I was done. I'm still paying for it, so it's probably a good thing I got out. Why do I have dirt on my knuckles? Well, because it goes with what it says on my other knuckles. I was an E5. I made rank very quickly. I went in E1 and I came out in E5 in 5 years. How cool is that? I'm glad you love my channel. I love it too. No, I don't know. Sometimes it's getting to be really like a full-time job, which is crazy. Or I could just ignore the comments and then it would be like I didn't have it at all. But I think that's kind of rude if people take the time to write something for me just to let it pile up. I know there's channels I watch where the person has never ever responded to me, and I think that's kind of lame. But what are you gonna do? Well, Steel Bones, whatever your name is crazy. It's too long for me. When we get the Google Hangouts thing going, Rena and I, if we're overwhelmed, we'll bring you in. So that's cool. Bug in or bug out if you live in a rural area. You're gonna have to play it by ear. You can't say what you're gonna do until it happens, because we don't know all the details. If your city's on fire, you're probably gonna want to, or the area you live in is on fire, you're probably gonna want to get the hell out of there. We have a user on here named DB Cooper. That is awesome. Thank you, H&H. Is the guy who I talked to on email today from New Mexico? I think he's from Rio Rancho. Are you here? We don't sleep in New Mexico. You should be up. I love your name, DB Cooper. That's a fantastic, fascinating story. Where's ABG? I don't know all the airport prefixes. What force would a tyrannical government use? I think by default they would use probably the military and then local police force in smaller towns and the UN. I'm trying to remember if I've ever been to Clovis, New Mexico. I knew somebody who lived there, but I don't think I ever went there. That's on the east side of the state, right? That's over by Texas. I lived in Albuquerque as well. It was my favorite place. Well, not my... It's the favorite place I've lived. It's not the favorite place I've visited in New Mexico, but I definitely plan on going back. Clovis, California does not count. What denomination am I? I am a child of God. I don't do man-made religion. I think men ruin everything they put their fingers on. Well, Six Gun, at some point we will advance to the point where, like, maybe we can have it where people can actually call in, so you won't be limited to characters and you can actually speak. This is very rudimentary, what we're doing right here, but it's good practice. Albuquerque's the bomb. Wait, I shouldn't say that. Albuquerque sucks. Do not go there. It's all Breaking Bad. Just don't go there. Tuco will get you. Yes, my CB does work. I'm way back on the chat. I'm so sorry. I'm way back on the CB. Yes, the CB works. I talked to some guy. He was very nice. It sounded like he was sitting right next to me, and I think he was, because I asked him where he was, and I figured out he was about a mile away. So I need a new antenna. A mile's not going to cut it. Miss Rena, am I missing anything important? I was way back there in the chat. I thought I was all like keeping up with it. Then I scrolled and all this shit flew by. Yeah, there are a lot of questions, and a lot of people are talking to each other, which is cool. I think it's cool that like others are able to, you know, have conversations with each other that they might not meet otherwise or get to talk to. That's cool. It's not all about talking to Rena or I or whatever. If you find somebody else on here and you hit it off or have a good discussion, go for it. I do not want to say what state I'm in. I've been to Montana twice. I just remember it took forever to drive from one end to the other, like literally forever. I'm surprised I'm not still in Montana driving. Yes, I'm a matchmaker. Always a matchmaker, never, I don't know. There's got to be a saying there. How are your archery skills? I don't think I have any, and I wish I did. I would love to have a crossbow. I want a crossbow, but I don't want to end up with a piece of shit, and that's probably what if I have a crossbow, I want to be able to hit something like exactly like with a gun. I don't want it to like land at their feet and have them come kick the shit out of me. I need a manly crossbow like the shit they had on Vikings, where you can hit something from 100 yards away, but I also don't want to pay $1,000. I'll just shoot them. Yeah, see, Daryl's crossbow, I want that, like something like that. I'm afraid I would spend money and it would show up and I'd pull the trigger and it would go 40 feet and land on its side. And even like birds would laugh at me. A blowgun. How many fucking weapons do you think I'm gonna haul around? I've already got 40 pounds of rifles. It was a piece of shit, except maybe in real life. On the show it was awesome. See, I don't know anything about them. I just know that the ones that are good, I think they're cool. Oh, now we've progressed to throwing stars? I don't know. It's like shit hits the fan is going to give everybody an excuse to try all the weapons they've loved since they were children. I remember in the 70s when throwing stars were the thing. Like the coolest kids had throwing stars. If you had a throwing star, you were like a notch above the other kids because you were just one notch below Bruce Lee. Any questions? Rena, help. Yeah, I realized you can't answer a text message when you're doing this. Sorry, guys. Thank you, Red-Headed Rambler Mike. Is that what it says? I got this phone with a huge screen and it's still too small. I need my tablet. Don't get me started on nukes. I'm gonna be here all night. I know less than nothing about black powder revolvers. I don't know. If you pull the trigger and it goes pew pew, then I'm all for it. What did you say? I'm banning people? How am I banning people? If I accidentally banned anybody, can you unban them? Pew pew. Are you really talking shit about pew pew? That's Rena, are you there? There you are. Did I accidentally ban somebody by answering a text or something? Are you the problem, Rena? So everybody say hi to Rena. She's going to be the co-host on the Hangouts. Okay, note to self, do not answer any more texts during a live stream. Now we've gone to slingshots? This is awesome. Yeah, Rena, has anyone ever mentioned your hair before? So apparently we've gone from World War III to slingshots. Is that where we're at? Norwegian Nightmare, I do not. So if there's a contest, I will be at the bottom of that. I have no food stored. I do, but it's ridiculous. How bad life straws are? I don't know, how bad are life straws? I see, life straws aren't meant to be like your primary water drinking source. They're an emergency straw. Like if you're on foot and you run across a creek and you either get something to drink or you're going to die and you don't want to build a fire. I don't think you're supposed to drink all your water through a life straw. My plan is the things I don't have, I'm just going to take them from other people when I need them. I would appreciate a crossbow setup. I'd like to see that. Because I will buy a crossbow if I know it will hit somebody where I pointed at them. Like I said, I don't want it to droop down and hit him in the toe. That guy, is you talking about like taking stuff that I want? I'm not gonna do that. Well, it's called a joke. Sorta. Condoms will be used as currency. I was storing Tide Pods, but I ended up eating them all. I can't seem to keep them long enough to make any progress. So let's be honest here. Nobody's watching. Has anybody here snorted a condom? Hello, Faith Hunter. I recognize your name. That's TMI, Nicole. Nickel? Is it Nickel? Cash. I don't. If the reason for Shit Hits the Fan is a financial collapse, then pretty much tell you all you need to know about what cash will be worth. But you know, people have been programmed to see a large stack of money and get a boner. So there will be people who, even if the dollar is useless, if you hand them a wad of shit, they'll probably give you stuff because in their mind they're thinking, oh my God, look at all this money. Beans, Bible, bullets, and Band-Aids. You put that on one of the videos, didn't you? You're correct, Rena. See, this is why you're going to be my co-host. See, I'm smart. I remember that. I told you I go through the comments. It'll be like prison. Cigarettes are going to be a currency. You're right. Basically, we could probably learn a lot from like how things run in a prison, because I think there's a lot of similarities on how things will run during Shit Hits the Fan. Not that I want to go in there and find out, but I have always agreed that gold and silver will be as useless as tits on a fish in Shit Hits the Fan. Ricky Bobby Ricky, you're like one of my very first subscribers. You might be the first one. YouTube will post this automatically when it's done, yes. There's a reason you've never seen tits on a fish. They're useless. Yeah, Ricky Bobby's like, I'm serious, he might be the first subscriber to the contingency plan. I don't know if Dave's here, Pez, the winner of the giveaway, but because I can't tell all this shit scrolling by. But if you are, or you watch this later, your box is in the mail. It's on the way. You ever milk a kitten? Anything with nipples can be milked. I'm sorry. Revolvers versus semi-automatics. What is your take? The first gun I ever owned was a revolver, and I don't have one anymore. I have all semi-automatics. Revolvers are more reliable. They have less moving parts, and I just don't have one. I'd like one. I'm surprised at how expensive revolvers are now. I figured they'd have gone way down in price, but I think they went up in price. Actually, I know they went up in price because I had a Smith & Wesson Model 66 back in like the late 80s, and that thing's like $600-700 now, and I sure as shit didn't pay that when I was that young back in the 1980s. I think I paid like $250. Nope, they don't leave casings behind, but you got to do something with them at some point. I guess throw them in the river. Could I play your track on my video? I don't know, I just play music that I like. All right, Jesse, good night. That was something I was wondering about, the fact that every time I have one of these alleged shootings, isolation gun sales go through the roof. And what if that's on purpose? What if they want more people armed so that we can eventually take each other out, thin the herd without them having to get involved? Just kind of poke us until we get all angry and start shooting at each other because they keep us divided. The only problem is the liberals don't have any guns, so it's not going to work out well for them. These things are amazing. There's people talking about goat milk cheese. This is incredible. The purpose of the live stream. I don't know, it's kind of like the meaning of life. What is it? Rena, what am I missing? I'm just blabbing, talking to a screen. Yes, we're waiting for World War III to kick off. Ask Tony S about it. It's coming. Just be patient. I think he wants to be entertained, Rena. I hear Rena can dance. Me? Lobo solitario. A lone wolf. I don't have people in my plan. D, I was going to ask something similar. I think that the people that are interested in this are, how do I say this? Older than millennials. I don't think young people give this much thought, with just a few exceptions. I think most of your survival people are middle age or above. The kids are too busy with their Snapchat. They don't have time for this nonsense. Six Gun, you are an exception for your generation. Hell yeah, I remember throwing stars. If I told you some of the shows I used to come home from school and watch when they were live, I think you'd probably get an idea. If I told you who my crushes were when I was a kid. Anybody remember Julie from Mod Squad? Dee remembers Julie from Mod Squad. I was never a Farrah Fawcett guy. I was a Jacqueline Smith guy. Winnie from Wonder Years. See, when Winnie was popular in Wonder Years, I was too old for Winnie. That would have been creepy. Plus, she kind of looked like a turtle. Ooh, the Bolt Cutters Club. Nice call, Rena. Charles in Charge. Are you gonna whip out the Pinky and Leather Tuscadero reference? What's that, Rena? We got a question about bolt cutters. Well, is there a bolt cutter question? I don't know. My screen just went like dim. I don't know what's going on. Would there be a multi-tool you could use for bolt cutters? Yeah, I'm trying to get back on here. Are we back? Man. So somebody said something anti-bolt cutter and the stream went down? That makes complete sense to me. Nobody's got time for anti-bolt cutters. I lost my connection as soon as the person was talking shit about bolt cutters. Sheepdog, I don't know anything about what's going on with the Russia or whoever. Tony S. is our point of contact for all things World War III at the moment. You're correct, Norwegian. Nobody wants you to talk badly about bolt cutters. I think we learned a valuable lesson tonight. Well put, Rena. Hey, Paul, at first I thought you said that bolt cutters could be used as a silent head wrap, and I was going to ask you to go into detail, because that would be fascinating. Kind of like a shemagh made out of bolt cutters. Am I the only one here who owns a shemagh? There's no way I'm the only one here. Come on, shemagh brothers and sisters, raise your hands. Right on. It's like my favorite thing I have is my shemagh. That's the one thing I think I have 4 of them, because I don't want to be without one. Well, you're missing out, Six Gun. They're fantastic. Good night, Rooster. Yeah, my phone, something happened there. Again, I think it was something to do with the bolt cutter comments. Oh, the multi-tool bolt cutter. Yeah, that was that's when everything went south, isn't it? I think I said that the Leatherman you can cut wire, but unless there's a jumbo Leatherman or something like that I'm aware of, I wouldn't imagine getting through a barbed wire fence with one. I would just get a pair of bolt cutters and call it good. See, then now you're talking about carrying multiple things, or just carrying one small tool that's not as good. Whereas if you just carry the bolt cutters, you can also cut chains and you can cut padlocks. What are you going to do if you come to a padlock and you've got your small wire cutters? Yeah, and the video I don't think doesn't even touch on cutting other things. They're very useful. You can cut all kinds of shit. Yeah, hell, you can beat somebody to death with them if you need to. And if you just hang them off your backpack on a carabiner, I don't see why people would have a problem with them, but apparently they do. I do have, what are they, potassium chloride pills or whatever? I don't know what they're called. I have like 2 weeks worth or 4 weeks worth of them. I don't necessarily think that they actually do shit, but I have them. Is there a difference between looting and scavenging? I would say looting is another word for stealing, and scavenging would be another word for finding, I guess. I don't know. I think looting has bad intent behind it, and scavenging is more like you're just trying to survive. This thing needs music. Would it be moral to kill others for food if you yourself are running out? Yeah, that's tough. I mean, the easy answer is no, but we're not in a situation where you're watching your children starve. I don't know. that's a moral. Only you can answer that at the time, I guess. I hope that God's okay with your decision. I don't know. I think that God has everything planned out, so if he puts that opportunity in front of you, maybe you're supposed to take it, or it could be a test. I don't know. I think when it's our time to go, it's our time to go, but I don't know. Yeah, moral compass will wither away after a while. I mean, in that movie, he had his son, you know. I think he may have acted differently if he was alone, but he had his little boy, so he probably did some things he normally wouldn't have done, but I don't know. Hopefully we never find ourselves in such a situation and we don't have to find out on our own. Yeah, Rena, I wouldn't even get into it with that person. Just let them do their thing. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I thought that movie was okay. I thought the end was kind of lame, but I don't know. It was all right. I actually don't think that that movie was nearly as brutal as it would be in real life. I have some Harbor Freight stuff. So where are you getting your information, Tony? Are you like are you monitoring this situation? And if so, how are you doing so? I agree with you, Jason. I don't believe nukes exist. Yeah, Harbor Freight's like Dollar Tree. Some of their stuff's really good, some of it's complete shit. Yeah, you want to turn this chat on its head. Let's start talking about how nukes don't exist. For some reason, there are people who really get angry and they really, really want nukes to exist. And if you say they don't, they get so mad because they really want those nukes to exist. Are you guys talking about pemmican? Is that what is? Isn't that like hardtack? Pemmican, is it, am I saying it right? Pemmican? Is that the same thing that the Civil War soldiers called hardtack? Or are those two different things that are similar? So there's hardtack that was made during the Civil War that people can still eat today, and there's videos of people eating Civil War hardtack. Hardtack is sort of like a giant rock hard cracker. it looks awful, but you have to soak it in water for like, I don't know, 3 days or some shit before you can even think about eating it. I made a video on it, but I don't remember the details because I pretty much realized while I was making the video that I'm never touching that shit. I'm trying to catch up on your comments here. There's a lot of people talking here. Yeah, you could use hardtack to soak up the water if your basement flooded, and then you could eat it. So do celebrities really sell their souls? I think that there's a level of celebrity that does. I think if you're in the $20 million club, you absolutely have to sell your soul. I think some of the people you see on TV don't, the ones that, like, you don't know their names, but you might recognize their face. But there are certain ones that are considered superstars. Absolutely have sold their souls. They do worse than that, actually. I know this sounds nuts to some people, but they do eat babies. I'm not making that up. If you ever get into the missing 411 thing, where where do all the people go that just vanish, you'll start to understand where all those people go. That's true. The whole nuke thing is a complete fabrication. It's nothing more than fear used to control us. If you look at what a nuclear bomb is and how they say it works and all that, it's complete nonsense. You've never seen an atom. You can tell us you've seen an atom all day long, but you've never seen an atom. The first kid ever put on a milk carton was, oh shit, what was his name? His last name was like, started with a G. Kind of a weird last name. He was the first kid ever put on a milk carton, and he was used for a pedophile ring. They've got photos of him hogtied and being abused by grown men. What was that kid? His last name started with a G. I'm almost sure it started with a G. Yeah, that's a terrible story. I would look up that kid who was on the milk carton, except that it will kill the chat again. Yeah, Johnny G, that's it. I just don't remember what his last name is, but I think Johnny G is correct. Yeah, he was kidnapped and used in pedophilia, satanic rituals, sold to the highest bidder. And that started the whole milk carton campaign. Yeah, Johnny Gosh. There you go. Thank you, Faith. I knew he had that last name with a G, and it was a funny last name. Johnny Gosh. It's like Jimmy McGill. Slippin' Jimmy. Anybody get my Jimmy McGill reference? It was an Albuquerque reference. We're holding still at about the same amount of, we're like between 29 and 34 of you on here. That's pretty cool. I apologize. Is this too late for most people, do you think? I don't know. I see people have hangouts and they have them at all weird times of the day, and I don't know when to do it. I'm a night person, so this is normal for me to be up doing stuff at this time. So what do you suggest for a grid down situation, Tony? It's late for you normally, but this is worth it? Is that what you're trying to say? So where's Tony? Is he going to tell us what we should do in a grid down situation? Oh, you're binging my videos. Good. I thought you said blogging. I was like, don't do that. People are going to think you're nuts. Thank you, American Life. No, my eyesight sucks anyway, and trying to read this on a little screen, well, it's a big screen for an iPhone or for a phone, but it's a small screen in reality. So, Tony, and I just have a question for you. The cause, what's going to make it go down? I'm wearing glasses. That tells you anything. You like the background music on the videos? Somebody asked me what one of the songs, or how to get one of the songs. It was, I don't remember. It was one of the, like, the instrumental things in the background. You can take any YouTube video that you come across that has any music on it and go to, was it Y2M? No. Ah, shit. It's Y2, I think it's Y2M dot something, and it'll strip the audio right out and make an MP3 out of it. So if you find music on one of the videos and there's no talking over it, it's just text, just take that video to that website and strip the music right out and make an MP3 out of it. That's what I do. Oh, I hear an airplane like right over my head. I think you're right, Tony. Shit's gonna hit the fan right about now. I don't know. The one song I use a lot, or I used to, it's like the native drum beat. I think it's in the background on the How Will We Know When the End Times Are Here or some shit like that. It's like Native American drum beat thing, and it's like an hour and a half long. I have it on my iPod, and I was playing it at work last night, and it never ended. It just kept going and going. It's super long, but it's really cool. I just stripped that off a video on YouTube. Yeah, it's got the wolf howls in it. That's the one. I just, I think I just typed in like Native American drums or something on YouTube, and I found this like hour-long video with just that song, and I just converted it to an MP3. Oh dear, I used to live in South Bend for a brief moment. Yeah, Rena's doing a fantastic job helping to moderate. I have actually never been to Notre Dame's football stadium. I don't give two shits about sports. I might go outside and look up and see if I see more planes in the sky. That one sounded really low. Maybe Tony's onto something here. I'm just watching what you guys are talking about here. I agree, Smokin' Joe. I'm gonna have to see something pretty compelling before I'm buying into this. Stone, Steel, Bones, and Blaze. Still here. Good to see that. I'm gonna have to call you something different. That's a mouthful. Right on. How do you reload the live stream? Okay, Joe. I am horrendous with names, so I will probably forget that in about 30 seconds, but I'll try. Thank you, Freedom for All. You're awesome. Thank you. Yeah, the only way I see World War III happening is if the elite are finally ready to go down in their bunkers and stay there. Live underground from now on. They need us. They've spent way too long making us subservient little debt slaves to just dismiss us like that. Oh, they're not bunkers, there's underground cities, and they're connected. There's high-speed rail tunnels, magnetic rail tunnels, connect the entire continental United States. It's probably better down there than it is up here. Exactly, Paul. They have to have somebody to control it, or they have nothing. These comments are fascinating. Sorry, I'm being quiet. I'm just reading. Are you having fun, Rena? Good. You guys are more entertaining than anything. I'm just watching and reading. You want me on your team? Okay. We'll be called Team Huffy. I just don't. I've never seen proof. Well, here's the thing. I think they might have such a thing as an EMP weapon, which is a device that just fires off an EMP. I don't doubt that at all. But an EMP as a side effect of a high altitude nuclear blast, I call bullshit on. So yeah, you can prep for an EMP because I think they could do it. I just don't think that they can do it with a nuclear bomb. I think that they actually have an EMP weapon. We all want shit hits the fan. What's that? If not, it would not be an attraction. I don't know if it's an attraction. I don't find it attractive at all. I find it fucked up. But I'm not gonna let some assholes dictate whether I live or die without having a say in the matter. The Earth might be round. a pizza's round. I think the Earth could look a lot like a pizza. I think there are people who think that they want Shit Hits the Fan to happen, but I think that they would change their mind about 10 minutes into it. I think there are people who like the idea of Shit Hits the Fan. The reality, I think, not so much. Yeah, a month without a shower would be the least of their concerns. There's a whole bunch of shit that would suck. Yeah, I think 5G is going to be the final nail in the coffin. They are in Walking Dead Fantasyland. It looks fun on TV. Because in the end of the episode, they always find what they're looking for. I'll eat your dog. Just fucking with you. That's true. His dog would eat him. You'd take a nap, wake up, and be missing a couple fingers. Holy shit. You guys are just... I can't keep up with y'all. Oh, Rena. Oh, God. And on that happy note, oh, that was foul. Yeah, like the David Crowley situation. That dog ate everybody, allegedly. We've gone from World War III to slingshots to throwing stars to your dog eating you. This is fascinating. I think kids are already our worst nightmare. I'm just kidding. Don't get upset with me. Take your dog out with your throwing star. There you go. And then EMP it to make sure. How many rounds do I have? I don't know. What caliber? A lot? Not enough? I'm really stingy with my bullets, too. No, there's never enough. I was talking to somebody about, if they, one way to do the assault weapons ban is to make the ammo difficult to come by or expensive or whatever. And I was thinking, who do we all know who has a shit ton of 5.56 ammunition? Who has a shit ton of 5.56? Every police department in the United States. How many people do you think it would take to overwhelm a police department and take every bullet they have? 20? Right. You just march into the police department and you demand they hand over every bullet they have, and problem solved. You've got your bullets, they don't have any. I do not know who that is. I don't think it's risky at all. If you've got a whole bunch of gun owners who are desperate, I think it'd be like taking candy from a baby. They're not going to fight. If 100 people show up armed wanting ammunition, police are going to step aside and let you take it. There's not much they can do about it. They do have families. That's why they're not going to fight to the death to keep you from taking their ammo. Yes, this is a very interesting time to be alive. I still think something has to give. Eventually, there's going to be a tipping point. I don't know what the tipping point's going to be, but it can't continue at this rate. People are starting to get angry. You could only poke somebody with a sharp stick for so long. Yeah, it could be something completely unrelated to a gun grab or something. It could be a nationwide power outage. It's just people are going to eventually snap. So does everybody have their bug out location selected if it ever came to where you had to take off? Yeah, you're correct, Joe. There will be. Guess how far away I have to go to get to my bug out location? I wish. No, I did the mileage, and if I was to take the roads, which I won't, it would be 1,500 miles. So by taking the alternate route, I've probably got at least a 2,000 mile trip ahead of me, so I really hope it never happens. Are you still there, Rena? I just took everything into consideration, and I realized that the one place that meets all my needs is 1,500 miles away. Those that live on a large rural property are very fortunate. I'm sure they know they're fortunate, but they really are. We will give you props, Tony, if World War III rears its ugly head. Do you think it'll be like World War II, where it's a fake war? There's no profit in a 45-minute war. Yeah. Well, I don't know about most see it differently, but I do. I'm not buying the whole nuke nonsense. Yeah, Nagasaki and Hiroshima are absolutely beautiful cities. They just Swept up the burnt up shit and they're good to go. I don't know. Have you been to Fukushima? I haven't. It's probably another bullshit story. Chernobyl? Did you know they have tours of Chernobyl? You can go on a tour there. Come see our heavily radiated nuclear facility. It's all bullshit. Yeah, like the gear you wear to go into outer space. Put this protective gear on. Give me a break. It doesn't matter if it was Trump or Clinton, this was coming regardless. It's all part of the agenda. They like the people to think that, oh, if we vote for Trump, we won't have World War III. Sure you won't. They're all on the same team. Yeah. I'm not even gonna get started on NASA and all that shit. I don't have any. They're not even worth it. It's like talking about claymation, like a Gumby and Pokey film. It's just I'm not gonna discuss it. There's nothing we've been told the truth about. Nothing. Ooh, I can make. Oh, hold on. What's this? Look what I found. No. How annoying was that? Did you guys see that too? how, how ridiculous is that? As if trying to follow the chat's not bad enough, you have bubbles to deal with. There's no such thing as astronauts. Yeah, Yellowstone might be a problem. And the Ring of Fire. I think that's our real problem, not some made up giant bomb that doesn't exist. Yeah, actronauts. I'm not so sure they need to nuke Yellowstone. I think it's doing just fine on its own. I think God's just about had enough. Where did you hear about the nuclear meltdowns that are still burning on the mainstream media, or did you go there personally and do some testing? It's like the people that talk about their laser reflectors on the moon. It's like, when's the last time you bounced a fucking laser off the moon? Give me this shit. Oh, they bounce lasers off the moon. Really? Let me see the test results from the last time you bounced one off the moon. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. Hey, if Fukushima is still spewing out radioactive particles, show me your test results from when you went there and dipped your beaker in the water or whatever the hell you did. The oceans cooled, react. What? You're reading. This is shit you're hearing on the news, dude. Thank you, Pete. Did CNN tell you that Fukushima is still a problem? Dude, what drones broke due to radiation? You're just you're just repeating shit like a parrot. Show me the fucking drone. Hand me the broken drone from radioactive Fukushima that broke a drone. Let me see it. I want to hold it in my hands. I'm just not buying this horse shit about some story that the news tells you. And oh my god. I don't know. Do I, Rena? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. You can play NBA 2K. I'm sure you'll be fine. Sometimes I'm really in the mood to talk about nonsense like Fukushima and NASA, but I'm just not in the mood right now. It's just too ridiculous. There's other things to occupy my time, like reality. Oh, who's they? The globe is dead. Yeah, exactly. Let's invent these things that if the power ever goes down for good, they all melt down and kill everybody. And go. It's hollow now. They've got bases down there. Have you seen those underground tunneling machines they have? They're insane. They have all the best toys. They're just like those science fiction drills. It's crazy. Like, they just bore these ginormous holes in the earth. They're crazy. That satanic ritual Gothard tunnel shit shows some really crazy machines just digging these huge fucking tunnels. Has anyone here heard any of those huge booms? You're doing fantastic, Rena. You're like the best co-hostess with the mostest. Has anyone seen the Sun Simulator? I saw it last summer. That's some crazy shit. It's my rock show. Am I the only one that's seen the Sun Simulator? Come on, somebody has to have seen it. I saw it in the sky. I don't know. It's where it's usually at. Have you ever gone out to the into the sun and it immediately starts burning your skin? That's the simulator. I was wondering why my skin was burning immediately, so I stared at it until I could see it. And it's like a honeycomb. It looks like a beehive, kinda. It's shaped like a giant hexagon with little honeycombs in it. I saw it twice last summer, and it's really creepy. NASA put it there along with, is it Boeing? I don't know if it's Boeing. Bausch and Lomb helped make it. I think Lockheed Martin, I don't know, all those alphabet agencies. There will be signs in the heavens. Yeah, there's people on YouTube that were filming the moon transiting the sky, and it went from a full moon to a quarter moon before it went over the horizon. Joe, are you in New Mexico? Right on, Rena. That's, I'm telling you, there's some really crazy shit going on up there if you just take the time to watch. I can't test the sun simulator either, but I looked at it. I saw it. Unless our sun is now white with a honeycomb hexagon in the center. Did you say Rio Rancho? Right on. Yeah, let's not even go down the Mandela effect rabbit hole. We'll be here all damn night. No, Albuquerque was never the capital of New Mexico. Santa Fe is actually the oldest capital in the United States. Oh my God. Yes, Santa Fe is the oldest capital city in the United States. I saw so much shit in the sky when I lived in New Mexico, it was ridiculous. It was actually more unusual not to see something weird up there than it was to see something. Oh, I did. I saw some really weird shit at night in near Truth or Consequences at Elephant Butte. I also saw some crazy shit in Taos. Okay, guys, my phone is about to die, so I'm gonna have to cut this off. But we'll do it next time we do it. It's gonna be Hangouts, and Rena will be on there talking as well. So it'll be. I hope it'll be better than this. We're trying. We're doing our best. Yeah, with the Hangouts and stuff, we will put a. I don't know what you call it. There'll be a video thing that tells you know when it tells you when the thing's gonna happen. We'll do that. Sorry, Natalie. We've been doing this for 1 hour and 115 minutes and 18 seconds. So, but my phone's dying, so I have to go. But we'll do this. Let's see. Today's. I would say possibly tomorrow, no later, hopefully, than Thursday. The tablet will be here tomorrow, so I'll get that taken care of. The best way never to become a mod is to say, make me a mod. Just saying. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. And like I said, I'll talk to you in a few, Rena. We'll discuss our options with this next hangout, okay? Okay, World War III, got it. Okay, everybody. Thank you, Rena. Everybody say thank you to Rena. She did a great job. Natalie Ann, we will do this. I will do